Welcome to the Fantasy Football Picks and Bet Show on the Mayo Media Network. I am your host, Scott Simpson. As always, we are presented by Prize Picks. Sign up for Prize Picks using the link in the description below. Code MMN. That's your deposit doubled up to $100. We always say basically free money here at the Mayo Media Network. I've turned that free money into a couple of $100. I'm pushing 3 bills right now. Don't tell anybody. I'm super excited for today. I'm back with one of my favorite people in the world. But before I introduce her, I need you guys to like, subscribe to the Mayo Media Network here on YouTube. I need you to go down there and sign up for Prize Picks too, real quick. And then I can welcome in the lovely, the amazing, the talented, the wearer of many fantasy hats across the spectrum, Stepmom Lauren herself on Twitter. Lauren, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for that introduction. I've missed you, my friend. It's been forever. How's your off season been treating you?
You know, I'm glad to be back with you. I was with LQ a couple weeks ago, and they keep me going, keeps me relevant. I got to do a bunch of show prep and understand what's happened. But I mean, honestly, how can you not have just been blown away with all the news, which we'll get to? I mean, from Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, you know, Matt Ryan. It's a plethora of NFL offseason news, which we're going to get to. But because you've not been here, I've not gotten your prize picks. So we're going to start with prize picks today. We're going to jump into those NFL futures. They do have some up for quarterbacks, for running backs, and wide receivers. So I'm going to hear what you have to say, and then I'm going to go to my old faithful. If people have been watching, they know who I like, but I'm interested in who you like. So Lauren, hit me with it. Who are you kind of edging towards on the prize pick sheet?
You know, I had to do a double take when I saw this going through Prize Picks. The NFL Futures tab is the one that we're on. And I was going through, I'm like, yeah, that's a decent line. That's it, oh, there you go. And then I came across this one and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a smash over for me. And it's the rushing yards for Najee Harris. And Prize Picks has them as 1150.5. So 1,150.5 yards last year as a rookie, y'all, with that crazy, terrible offensive line with Ben Roethlisberger at the helm. He got 1,200 rushing yards. So I'm going to take the over with Najee Harris rushing yards on Prize Picks NFL Futures. I think that is easy peasy for me. That was the one that I loved the most.
You know, I'm kind of kicking myself now that I didn't love that one yet as well. I went for a few lower ones. You know, the Antonio Gibson number was just juicy. The
Right.
McKissick came back, and it's a little bit drier now. But I do love that. Mine, I'm going to stack. I'm going to do a little play this week with your play and my play. My play has been, will be, and continue to be CeeDee Lamb. Oh my gosh. I don't really understand why Prize Picks has not adjusted his yardage right now. He's at 12 and a hook, right? 1,200 and a hook, which you go 1,200. I mean, that's a lot. No. He was like 80 yards away from that last year. And there's going to be no Amari Cooper. You got Michael Gallup coming off an injury. I love the James Washington signing, but it doesn't really scare me. I really think that our guy CeeDee Lamb has a chance to get into that 1,500 yard range. So this is just a smash bet. With yours, you could make a little nice daily double here on Prize Picks. Double your money up. This would be a bet that I would do, would be a larger sum. You're not trying to make, $20 here with, 5, 10 and build, 6 bets or 5 bets together. You're trying to take 2 big bets, make a nice little offering. I've got these 2 already for about 100, I'm not going to lie. So if I win that, oh yeah, that's going to be, I like it. So
yeah,
it's very nice. So you heard it from Lauren's all over our guy Najee Harris to go over 1,200 yard, or 1,150 actually, and a hook. And then I'm at CeeDee Lamb for 1,200 and a hook as well. I think both of those are smashes. Sign up for Prize Picks right now. Get that $100 deposit. I became like British or something. Your deposit match. I started to put the A for match. That's what it was. And get in there, get that money. And as we say, it's free. So please do. All right, let's jump right now, Lauren. We have so many things to talk about, but we have to talk about the GOAT, right? You can't start anywhere else. The news has been fast and furious, but nothing other than just, amazing news for all of us football heads that Tom Brady coming back. I want to know, what is the fantasy impact? What does it look like? Is it similar to last year? Are they just lock and load rerun? Or are we going to take a step back and there's going to be some regression?
I feel like I'm in an alternate dimension. So what I want to say is I think this is going to be a lock and load rerun. I mean, I think we're going to kind of see something similar, maybe even better than what we saw the last year. I mean, this was so weird to me. Okay, because I was firmly on the Brady is not going to unretire train. Like I wasn't, because he's like, oh, I'm going to be a producer and start acting and like go do all these other things. And I was like, there's no way Giselle is going to let him go back to football. Can't possibly do that. So when I heard this news, I'm like, you're kidding. That's not possible. It's like, it's too small to be a real puppy. Like I was in a very weird place trying to comprehend this news. So I feel like my analysis of saying that it's probably going to be a lock and load rerun, I'm even doubting myself because I think it might be even a little bit better because if he comes back, he's going to have to make it epic and he's going to do everything he can to make sure that it is epic. So you don't want to go off on a bad note, especially unretiring. That's a very bad look. So let's hope it's a little bit better than it was last year, which was really good. So it's just so weird. Why? Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. All those thoughts came through my head, except I knew deep down he was coming back. So when he
Really?
left,
I didn't. I feel like such a schmuck.
mm,
I can't believe I didn't see it.
yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I was so excited when I heard the news. And just it made me really understand how much Tom loves this game. 23 years. Oh man, I couldn't give it up either. I explained it to my daughter this way. If you've done something that you love every day almost for 7 months, 8 months, a year, and committed yourself to it, and all of a sudden you just have to stop, that is so hard to do. He couldn't do it. Let me give you some numbers real quick. Last year, he passed for 43 touchdowns. The year before, 83 touchdowns in 2 years in Tampa. Remarkable. And then the year before, he had 4,600 passing yards. He upped it by 700 to 5,300 last year. So a 5,500-yard passing season, 45 touchdowns, 100% on the table, particularly with Russell Gage in the fold. I was going to say we got Chris Godwin under the franchise tag. Gronk is even hinting of coming back. And then lo and behold, Leonard Fournette, boom, the Fournette bomb gets dropped today. He's headed back there. I think they could rerun it, and they definitely are odds-on favorites right now in that top echelon in the NFC East. What do you think about his wide receivers? Which one of these are you going to be targeting in fantasy if you had your choice right now?
Oh, Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin is my dude. He is my dude. Mostly because I think Mike Evans usually goes a little bit higher when we're talking about redraft fantasy. He's going to be going a little bit higher, I think. And I think if I'm going to choose one of those, two top tier wide receivers for Tom Brady, it's going to be Chris Godwin. I can get him just a hair later so I can stock up on my running backs a little bit earlier. If I do happen to miss out, I have no problem picking up Russell Gage. None.
Yeah, I love Russell Gage. I called him a sleeper last year. Maybe that's just 1 year too early on that, and then Hall of Fame quarterback aside. All right, let's talk. Let's transition a little bit here. We talked about our guy Tom Brady, but he's not the only quarterback that has made news. We have quarterback signings, we have quarterback trades, we have blockbuster deals. We got Russell Wilson to the Broncos, which is ridiculous. Deshaun Watson breaking the bank, one of the biggest guaranteed contracts in NFL history, to the Browns, 3 first-round picks. You got Matt Ryan to the Colts, Carson Wentz to the Commanders. Marcus Mariota resurfacing now as a Falcon. I want to know, any of these guys lead their teams to the playoffs? What happens in fantasy as well? Let's start with the regular season playoffs. What happens? What's going to go
Okay. Yeah. So I do think that Russell Wilson can get the Broncos to the playoffs, but that's what I think. But I want Marcus Mariota. I want Marcus Mariota to crush it with the Falcons. I love Marcus Mariota, and I love that he gets a take 2, maybe 3. Is this a take 3? I don't know. Because Raiders, Tennessee, Raiders, whatever. I would love to see Marcus Mariota get it done, but it's probably going to be Russell Wilson. But I am rooting for Marcus Mariota. Yeah. I think that's awesome.
Is there a snowball's chance in hell that Carson Wentz sniffs the playoffs with the Commanders?
Yeah, sniffs it. I mean, sure, I guess, but he's going to have to stay healthy. That's going to be his biggest problem. And he's going to have to watch his turnovers. That's been his biggest situation, right? It's been his problem. It's been his weakness. And it's been something that even Frank Reich, who was his, fairy godfather when he was with the Eagles, this is a situation that is going to be a little tough for him. Now, I trust Ron Rivera. I think he's an excellent coach. So I do think that Carson Wentz is going to do well, but they'll sniff the playoffs, sure. But I don't look at that and think, wow, great job. I think, ooh, okay, well, we'll see. Back to the NFC East, Carson Wentz goes. Okay.
I think it's going to be a huge flame out at the end of the season. Last month of the season is going to be horrific. Hope he had good quiet times and Bible studies before that.
He's not going to have the offensive line like he did with the Colts. I mean, that's going to be a big problem for him. Big problem.
Big problem. All right, so here's last question. Deshaun Watson with the Browns. He's got Amari Cooper, right? They have Njoku. You've got the two-headed monster in Kareem Hunt. and Nick Chubb. What's this going to look like? Is this offense going to be potent?
This offense is not going to be running through Deshaun Watson. This offense is likely going to have their backup quarterback, whoever that was going to be, for a year because he will get suspended. That's one of the things of the contract that the Browns did, I do believe. Don't quote me on this because I hate contract talk. It makes me fall asleep and kind of throw up a little bit in my mouth because I hate numbers, except for stats. I like stats, but adding and subtracting and doing all those things, I don't math. But I do believe they're only paying him a $1 million salary for the first year because I believe the Browns understand that he's likely going to get suspended significant amount of games. It's not the entire season. So I don't know. I really have no idea. I don't care. I think it's absolute hypocrisy what they've done to get Deshaun Watson. And again, I'm not putting any blame on either side, on Deshaun Watson's side or on the ladies' side. What I know is that this was a sham investigation looking into all of the, alleged parties. No, you didn't. No, you didn't, Browns. Just don't make shit up. We know exactly what you did and didn't do. You just really wanted Deshaun Watson. Don't try to give us this lip service. That's the only thing that really upsets me about that situation. So whether he's guilty or not is not what I'm saying. But I don't think that Deshaun Watson is going to be their starting quarterback for this season because he likely will get suspended. And therefore I'm staying away from everyone except the run game.
Maybe they need.
So give me Chubb. Yes, I'm in.
Yeah, maybe they need Baker after all.
Maybe he's going to stay on as the backup. I don't know.
I did see Steve Smith say that Baker Mayfield leads the league in crying. So that was pretty funny. And Steve Smith, he can say whatever he wants. He could beat me up. So yeah, not good. All right, let's transition. We are going to move over to wide receivers. Not only are quarterbacks changing hands, but we have amazing, incredible trades with wide receivers. Davante Adams, arguably one of the best wide receivers in football, if not the best, last 3 or 4 years, traded to the Vegas Raiders. What do you think is going on here? It's crazy.
I have no idea. I don't know what's happening right now because if Aaron Rodgers really wanted to have a team that he could viably take to the Super Bowl, it has to be with Davante Adams. And I think it was just another shtick to Aaron Rodgers when he came back and they're like, oh, we're trading your best friend. And to the Raiders, that is deep, reality television stuff that get your popcorn. Ooh, I can't wait to see the 30 for 30 on this one. It's going to be great. A football life all about Aaron Rodgers and how this whole thing went down. I cannot wait to see it. However, Davante Adams with the Raiders is a significant step back for fantasy purposes. I don't like it for him. I hope he loves his new home. I would much rather be in Vegas than Green Bay. No offense, Green Bay. I just hate cold weather. So this should be good for him as a person. But fantasy football wise, this is going to be tough. I think it does give Derek Carr a little bit of a leg up because now he has the best wide receiver in the NFL. So I like it for that reason. But if anything, hopefully you can get Davante Adams for a steal because he will still be fantasy viable, just not that fantasy stud superstar because Derek Carr is not Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, no, I like that take a lot. And I'll say this, there is a chance he loses 20 to 25% of his targets. That's a big drop off when you lose that. You can't make up for that production. And then also the TD equity that he had in Green Bay, you're not going to see that in Vegas at all.
It also hurts Darren Waller, which sucks.
Yeah, and Hunter Renfrow too. I think it's a downgrade for all those weapons. And I got to say, I'm standing up for my brother in fantasy football. Dwayne McFarland was dragged a little bit by Derek Carr, who laughed at him. He said, "You don't think he's going to be the best wide receiver?" He was talking about fantasy there, Derek. You got to understand where Dwayne's coming from. He will not be a top 5 wide receiver in fantasy this year with you as his quarterback. I'll just put that out there as well. Love Dwayne. So, all right, let's talk a little Robert Woods now. We saw the Cooper Kupp embrace after the Super Bowl. They're brothers, but the brothers are no more. Robert Woods shipped off to Tennessee to run routes with my man, A.J. Brown. Love that guy. Guy's the man.
Best smile in the NFL. I love him. I love him so much.
Yeah, Julio didn't work out. Now he's got Robert Woods. How do you think Robert Woods fits in? Do you think that Tannehill can sustain 2 top 25 wide receivers? Asking a lot, in my opinion.
I think he can. I absolutely think he can. And I'm going to point to my former shall I say, kicking dog, if you will, Corey Davis. Like I bashed on Corey Davis all the time, but made it happen. And then now Corey Davis is with the Jets. I'm super sorry. But with someone like Robert Woods is integral to any offense because he is a blocking wide receiver as well. He is going to be on the field all the time. So hopefully he stays healthy. Everything works out well with his rehab that he's going through right now. Knock on wood. I think it's going to be absolutely marvelous. And I think Robert Woods is going to be a steal in drafts. And if you miss out on AJ Brown, do not be afraid to take Robert Woods because I absolutely love this signing. Absolutely love it. But I do have something to say about something that is related to Robert Woods, former quarterback in Jared Goff, who is now, as he was last year, the quarterback for the Detroit Lions. Everybody, you want a sneaky sleeper that you can get late in drafts? It's DJ Chark. Okay. It is DJ Chark. Jared Goff was able to have Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods and make them both fantasy relevant. He can make someone like DJ Chark be explosive. Granted, it's not going to be super consistent, but he is going to be the steal of the draft when you pick up DJ Chark in like the 8th round or 9th or 10th or something, because nobody wants anything to do with him because he's on the Lions. So that's the one I wanted to bring up because no one's talking about DJ Chark. No one, but I am, and I'm saying it now.
I love it. I love that. And also he's on a 1-year deal. So he's got to show it to him. It's a show me deal. So he's got to perform. He wants to stick around. I think this is a great opportunity for him. And I'm on Ross St. Brown. Love him, but he is definitely inflated. You're getting him at the top of his value, if that, maybe even overvalued, like housing in our country right now. I don't want to make anybody offended by that. But all right, let's talk about who is replacing Robert Woods now. Allen Robinson, risen from the dead, a la the Undertaker meme where he comes out of the coffin. Is this really true? Is Allen Robinson going to be back to being a stud wide receiver in the NFL?
I think so. With the way Sean McVay runs his offense and the way Matthew Stafford is a gunslinger, I think we're going to have a resurgence of Allen Robinson, and it's going to be the resurrection, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. And everyone's going to be like, oh yeah, that guy. Where's he been? I forgot he was around. Poor Allen Robinson, but no longer poor Allen Robinson because he is now with the Super Bowl champs. So good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford, 601 attempts. Oh man, that is
crazy. I love Matthew Stafford.
Slinging it around. He's got that contract too. He's the champ. There'll be some pickles for Stafford this next coming season. He did have 17, but he had 41 touchdowns. That's a shit ton of touchdowns. It's only behind Brady. I mean, I love it. Allen Robinson, big target. I love, Odell Beckham Jr. was great and Robert Woods was great. Allen Robinson's a bigger target in the middle too. Yes. He's not going to be a slasher. He can do slants and that, but he can go over the middle and take on some of those, bigger corners, bigger safety. So
excellent with contested catches too.
Yes, excellent indeed. So yeah, so I definitely, we got some sleepers in here, and we know Devontae Adams. It's a big name. But Robert Woods and Allen Robinson kind of falling down in the ranks when you have the rising up of Deebo Samuel, CeeDee Lambs, the new generation. So I'm excited to see what they can do next year as well. Lauren, this has been great. I love this. Off season, it's every 2 weeks, but still with you, it's one of my favorite things I can do. So tell people, where can they follow you? Where can they find your content? And what are you working on right now?
All right, everybody, you guys can find me on my website, as always, where I put all my content on there. It's stepmomlauren.com. Very easy. Stepmomlauren.com. Go ahead and put that in just type that URL right in. I think I got the other Stepmom Lauren, like page 3. I'm not sure yet. Haven't put much content out since it's been the off season, but find me on social media. Also, Stepmom Lauren. Very easy to do. LAUREN. Come find me. Come say hi. We're getting there.
I'd follow you again, but I don't want to unfollow you, and then it'd be weird.
You can if you want. I won't mind.
No, I don't do that. Though sometimes Twitter does randomly unfollow.
Oh my gosh, I've had that happen to me so many times. People are super insulted. I'm like, I didn't unfollow you. What are you talking about? They're like, you totally did. And I go and check. I'm like, oh my God, I did. I don't know how this happened.
I have fat.
Like I unfollowed Scott Fish. Who unfollows Scott Fish? I didn't.
Oh my gosh. Every couple of months, I just put out a tweet that says, listen, if I accidentally unfollowed you, let me know. I didn't.
Let me know. Sorry.
But If that's the case with me, I'm Nimble W Numbers on Twitter. No content right now over at nimblewnumbers.com because we're waiting for the DFS season to start. But when we get back up there, we're rocking it out with DraftKings lineups every single week. So do check it out when it comes around. Thank you, Lauren. This has been great. Everybody, please check out Prize Picks, code MMN for the Mayo Media Network. Get that $100 deposit match bonus when you sign up. Free money, and use it to make some picks and bets on the futures. We talked about them today. Our guy, CeeDee Lamb, 1,200 and a hook. And then your guy, Najee Harris, 1150 and a hook. I love it. Lauren, thank you so much. I can't wait until next time.
Me too.
All right, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.